I'm Melissa.
And like, wouldn't it be funny? I told you about the thing how it thinks your name is Melissa, not Alyssa. Wouldn't it be
Yeah,
funny if somehow it thought my name was Ike instead?
I'm Ike. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
why is
yeah.
that?
It could go the other way too.
You're
Yeah,
not saying it that much differently than I'm
yeah,
saying.
I know.
I'm Melissa.
Yeah, but
I'm
it does. I
Alyssa.
I do see where it could. Yeah, I do see because it kind of all blends together. So it's more likely to think somebody saying their name is I'm Ike is saying I'm Mike than to think somebody
I'm Mike.
saying I'm Melissa is Alyssa
Huh.
or something like that. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Coming off of a long weekend. And I always feel like the quote long weekends always go by the fastest.
They do. And you know what's bad is the weeks of long weekends always are the longest. So if like for whatever reason I have off a Friday, that is the slowest week in the history of mankind. This week now we're
Oh yeah.
only we're only working Tuesday to Friday. It'll feel so long. I don't know why that
Oh yeah,
is.
I always felt like that as well. Yep.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, we celebrated Labor Day yesterday. We're recording this on Labor Day, so we're celebrating it today. But when this comes out, it'll be yesterday. But it doesn't matter.
yeah, so it doesn't matter. And that's also what our episode is about because I was listening to something, I don't know, a few days ago, and I don't know why. I always thought Labor Day I mean, to be honest, I never really even thought anything about it. But I always kind of in the back of my mind thought that Labor Day was like I don't know, presidential type
Oh,
holiday. I don't know, something like I don't know, like that. Like we have a lot of those just like random
yeah,
little politicky holidays. I thought
yeah,
it was
yeah.
something to do with that, but it's spoiler alert for anyone who's, we are always trying to educate here on the A&M podcast. And yeah, it has nothing to do with that. Labor Day. Do you know what Labor Day is?
I know what it is. Yeah.
Have you
It's
always known
so.
what it is
I feel like I have, but I probably haven't.
for your entire
Yeah.
life
It's
since
it's
birth?
it's yeah. It just was knowledge I was born with. No, it celebrates American workers. It celebrates labor.
Yeah.
I mean, I maybe I don't know. Maybe there was a time where I thought that it celebrated women giving birth. I don't know.
Labor Day. Yeah, that's actually what I thought it was. Not
Yeah, yeah.
presidential stuff.
I
I
thought
thought
it
it
was the
was
one day of the year that all women in the U.S. were supposed to give birth.
yeah. No, you know what's funny is like so I read that I think it started in the 1800s, late 1800s, and
Okay,
it was to give are you reading what it is? Tell me if I'm right.
I I actually am.
Um
Yeah,
it was to give the workers a little breaky break
yeah,
because they were working extremely long hours and not that much pay, which is very similar to current day as well.
yeah. Well, I don't know about that. The situations back then were a lot
No,
worse.
for
That's
sure, for
that's
sure.
where labor unions came into existence and all that because things were so bad. Yeah, it
And that's
actually
I think where
started.
the 5 day that's around the time I probably where the
Oh, that
5 day
makes
work week
sense.
happened because a lot of people are like, oh, the man who came out with like the 5 day work week.
Right.
Um, a lot of people were like, oh wow, this man, so it's your fault, like trying to hate on it. But actually, before that, before he implemented the 5 day work week, people were literally working like dang near 7 days a week. Definitely
Yeah, yeah,
six, at
exactly.
least six. Like maybe you
And
would
probably
get Sunday off.
and probably not 8-hour shifts either. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So it actually originated in 1882 in New York City, and it was celebrated by labor unions in New York City, and it became an official holiday in 1894. Also, the
Long
year
time
that my
ago.
grandmother was born.
Wow. How
Yeah.
about that?
So I don't
Also,
know
more
why
than
I
a
don't know why I
hundred
remember
years.
that.
That is a really
Yeah.
random fact.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Wow.
um
Imagine being born in the 1800s. I mean, I
I
know
know.
kids nowadays are like, "Whoa, you were born in the 1900s," but
Yeah. Right. Right.
like being born in the 1800s, like very crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That was. I mean, it was always funny when I was a kid too. Like with my grandmother, like knowing that she was born in the 1800s. She was born
Oh, right.
right. I think it was 1894. I know it was the late 1890s, and she was born like I think her birthday was like September 20 or December 28th. It was like right before the end of the year. Or maybe it was the 31st. I forget. That part I forget. But it was right near the end of the year. Might have been the
Wow.
31st because it might have been that she always used to tell me that she was born. I don't know. Yeah, it was right near the end of the year.
Was she born in Pennsylvania?
I assume so. Yeah, probably in the Danville, Pennsylvania area because that's where that whole part of the family was from.
Crazy. Did they have hospitals back
Yeah.
then, I wonder? Crazy.
I think they did. I think they did have hospitals
They
back
were just
then.
having
That was
babies in the
yeah,
home in the house.
yeah. Maybe they did. I don't know how I don't know how it worked back then. They weren't, but I know they weren't all born on Labor Day. That's the only thing I'm 100% sure of. Some were though. There were some babies born on Labor Day. It's it's interesting because it's celebrated um, like a lot of the federal holidays on the first Monday in September.
Yes.
um, what's funny is I found something talking about that, about where that came from, the whole thing of like celebrating those holidays on Mondays. Try to find where it said what year that was. I think it was in the 70s. Yeah, in 71, the Uniform Monday Holiday Act moved President's Day at that point to a Monday. So that act that all the or most of the federal holidays fall on Mondays was actually in 1971, but it doesn't apply to like 4th of July or Juneteenth because those are specific, named days, I guess. So they haven't done it with those, but I think they need to just change them all to Mondays.
Really? I like a date. I like a date.
Yeah, I do too, but
But I
like
I
there's
like the
nothing worse
Mondays.
than there's nothing worse than like, oh, it's 4th of July and it's Wednesday. Great.
Yeah.
That's
No, that's true. That is true.
hey, but I know
Let's
this
change
is a
it to
little off the topic
Fridays.
of labor. Yeah, there we go. Let's make them all Fridays. Well, no, because then when we move to the 4-day work week, which I'm advocating, um,
Oh, true.
then we would it wouldn't make any difference. So we want them all on
Yeah.
Monday. So then we move to the 4-day work week. Then we have 4-day weekends.
Yeah, because we already have
So
4-day work weeks at the A&M podcast studios, so.
yeah, we do. We do. Actually, we're slavers. We work a 7-day work week, but we're only enslaving ourselves, so it's okay. Um, do you know? How about this? Do you know what the first? This is a little off topic, but sort of on the same topic. Do you know what the first four U.S. holidays were? The U.S. meaning official government holidays.
First four. Okay,
This is
well,
kind of like a mini game time. I'm asking you some trivia here.
all right, I'm gonna say President's Day, Labor Day. I don't know, probably 4th of July. Was that an earlier one? And then let's go with Columbus Day.
Those were good guesses. You got one.
They're also the only
In
ones that I
in
remember
indep-
as terms
in
of days off.
in
Martin Luther
the
King
first
Day, is that one of
four.
them? Oh no, that would have been
No,
later on too. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, go.
The first four were actually in 1870 was when Congress passed something on them,
So
and
Labor Day.
also known as a law, passed something on them. I love how vague I was. They passed a law because that's what Congress does. Um, New Year's Day, Independence Day, Thanksgiving Day, and Christmas Day were the first four official government holidays.
Those are okay.
You're right.
Well, that's
You were
fine.
shocked by that.
Yeah, because I guess I wasn't thinking real holidays. I was thinking the little, like,
Like
more
the government type
celebratory.
holidays. Yeah.
Yeah, like the
Yeah, that's
celebratory little things, not the ones that.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of ones that, um, we have off on, but we
Right.
don't really, you just, oh, okay, I have off. It's about America. Okay, let's throw something on the
Yeah.
grill,
Yeah, exactly. That seems to be
like
all
most holidays.
the yeah, all of the like those types of like Memorial Day. We don't do that on Veterans Day. Isn't that funny? Memorial Day we do. Veterans Day is kind of strange because it should be, along the same line, but not everyone gets that one off. Most people do get Memorial Day off.
Yeah. I think a lot of people get, I noticed, I don't know, I guess I never really paid too much attention to Labor Day, but like, I noticed that, um, a lot of places either were closed or
Yes.
had adjusted hours. Tried to go to
Yeah.
Aldi and they might I think they just closed early because I looked up, I think it was around 5:30 whenever we were almost back, and they were closed. I looked
Yeah.
online. I said, "Wait, something in me is telling me to look up their hours before I head over there." They were closed, but
Yeah.
Publix was
We
open. But
we
yeah,
we
Aldi was
were
closed.
we were driving past Raising Cane's
Hmm.
and they were closed because we were like, oh, they're not doing much business. The one, by us just opened like a couple of months back, and we're like, oh boy, are they not doing very good business? Because there doesn't look like anyone's there. And then we drove past and we're like, oh, they're closed. They're
Yeah,
closed for the holiday.
Chick-fil-A too. They
Yeah.
had like adjusted hours.
And I was trying to figure out, is that because like a lot of people grill on Labor Day, so they're like they don't do as much business, so it's like not worth it for them to stay open. Maybe that's it. That's the only thing I can imagine. Or maybe they're being nice and giving their workers
Yeah,
off too, since that is what the
that's what I
holiday's
figured.
supposed to celebrate. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured they were just trying to be nice and give their workers off since, yeah, because
Yeah.
of the meaning behind it. But I don't know why I never really noticed it before, unless,
Yeah.
everyone is just finding out the meaning of it like me. And,
Right. They're like, oh,
once,
people should have off then.
yeah, because I mean, I guess, I've always had jobs, as far as I can think, I've always had jobs where they've given me off on Labor Day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I thought
I
that
feel
was
like
funny.
I, I feel like that. Well, and this is true, but I feel like that and Memorial Day are kind of like the bookends of the summer season. You know, like Memorial Day
Yeah.
starts the summer season, Labor Day ends it. And the other funny thing is, I feel like people often confuse the two. you know, they confuse Labor Day and Memorial Day, which is kind of
Do
interesting,
you
just
know why
because
they
they're
say
both
don't wear
the
white
summer.
after Labor Day?
No.
Neither. I was hoping that you had
Oh,
that, found that in your
I
research.
thought you were gonna. I thought you had some knowledge for me. Hold on, I'll find out. I th-
People always say don't wear white after Labor Day. I wonder if it's just because
yeah,
it's the end of the season, or if there's an actual reason behind it. I mean,
yeah.
my
Maybe
guess, if
it's.
I had to guess about it, I would guess that it's because it's the end of the summer and now we're going into the fall season. But,
Hmm.
maybe there's a deeper reason.
Yeah, it's social class and fashion etiquette is what I'm being told.
What does
And it
that
says,
mean?
oh, how about this? It says there's also well, like just the fashion people said, you have to wear dark colors because now it's fall,
Oh,
that
okay,
kind of
so I
thing.
was right. Yeah, okay.
So but it also says before modern air conditioning, white and light fabrics were genuinely more comfortable in the summer, which makes sense. But that's why you should wear it during the summer. That's not why you shouldn't wear it. Oh, darker clothes provided warmth and matches the heavier fabric needed for colder weather after September. There we are. So
Wow.
there's actually practical reasons behind it. That kind of stuff is interesting to me. Like these things that we just think of as, well, that's just something people say when you look into it, it's like, oh, that's why they did that.
Yeah, I always heard it. I mean, I guess like I've just always assumed it's because summer is over. I think this is the real mark of summer being over. I still haven't decorated for fall at all, but I'm gonna wait probably
Yeah,
like
we
a week
haven't
or
either.
two.
Yeah, we
I
haven't
want to
either. I mean,
wait just a
it
little
is
bit.
officially September, but
Yeah.
yeah. However, well, it's almost gone. But I was drinking a pumpkin coffee, so
I don't have any yet. Do you
No.
are you a pumpkin coffee or pumpkin creamer type of person?
I'm more of a creamer person because I like coffee that because here's the thing with most of the flavored coffees is they're very light roasts, and I like a little bit strong. I don't like super strong roasts, but I like, a medium to dark roast. And
Mhm.
if you're getting a flavored coffee, you really don't get that much coffee flavor. It's more whatever the flavor is. But if I want to
Yeah.
add a little bit of like a pumpkin creamer, then it gives it the pumpkin flavor without, or syrup, like the syrups that they sell too.
Yeah, I'm not big on the syrups. I don't like the aftertaste on it unless it's getting a
Hmm.
professionally made one from somewhere.
Well, yeah, I
Um,
mean, we bought the Starbucks stuff in the past.
that's
Yeah.
true. Oh, that's true. Um, yeah, so anyways, that brings me also to my other question to talk about, which is other holidays that we celebrate or that you celebrate that you just celebrate it. It comes through every year and you just celebrate it like St. Patty's Day. What is St. Patty's Day? Why do we just are known to, I celebrate Brandon's birthday on St. Patty's Day, but
Right.
also before, not before that, but outside of that, um, what is St. Patty's Day? St. Patrick, which actually, did you know? I read somewhere before that St. Patrick, I think you'll probably find this in your research if you're doing any right now, but I think St. Patrick is the saint of, isn't he the saint of the rats or snakes or something like that?
Uh, I don't know. Wow.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
I had never heard that. The thing that I'm looking at says he was a fifth century Christian missionary and bishop. Um, he was kidnapped and enslaved in Ireland as a teen. Later escaped, became a priest, and returned to Ireland to convert people to Christianity. He's credited with spreading Christianity across Ireland and is the country's patron saint, which makes sense. Uh, yeah, and then this is just talking about other
Yeah,
traditions.
see?
Yeah. What's funny to me about St. Patrick's Day, though, is, and I remember us talking about this before, that it did start as a religious holiday, um, which is funny to me because today it's heavily thought of as a drinking holiday. So that's kind of interesting. That's a bit of a change. Um,
Okay, no, he wasn't the saint against rats. But he was known, that's what it was. He was known for driving the snakes out of Ireland. So
that's
there
right.
were no
That's what I've
snakes.
heard of. Yeah.
There were no snakes in
Yeah.
Ireland, which
Yeah. I
imagine
think,
single-handedly driving
yeah.
any rodents, really.
Right.
Rodents, bugs,
Well, snakes
anything.
aren't, hold on. Snakes aren't rodents. They're
I
two
don't really
different
know what they
things.
are. They're
Snakes
reptiles,
eat
okay?
rodents. They're,
That's what
they're reptiles. That's right.
either
Are they
way,
reptiles? Yeah, they
imagine
are reptiles.
imagine being one person and driving the snakes out of
And
single-handedly out of the country.
how do you do that exactly too? Like he was a bishop. Did he just have like one of those bishop scepters and he like chased them? I want to
Driving
know
the
more
snakes
about
out of a
that.
whole country, right?
Yeah, that's
Right.
like
Enough to
that's
famously make
impressive.
them like
Yeah.
snake free.
Yeah. And why was it such a problem that they were there though? Like there's snakes. We live in Florida. There's snakes all over here.
Oh
Nobody
yeah.
needs to.
I
I
mean,
mean, we do have the what is it, the python uh wrangling that they do like once a year. Is that what it is? Python, or
yeah, but that's like
I
a
think it is.
specific type of snake that there's probably not many of,
Yeah.
so it's easy to
No.
rally them up.
They're also
But
they're also not supposed to be here. They're not native to here. Maybe that
so
was
they
it.
don't.
They were not snakes that were native to Ireland and somebody released them there.
Yeah, but it doesn't say
You know,
like pythons. It just says snakes as a
yeah.
whole. So I
Yeah.
think that's the part that to me is good job to St. Patrick for
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah,
What a
he
guy.
deserves a holiday. He deserves a holiday where everyone drinks for
Ireland
doing
had,
that.
yeah. a legend that is mostly a myth, as
Oh,
Ireland had no snakes historically.
oh, but so they were
Oh,
invasive then.
so we
They
don't
weren't
know if
supposed to be
he,
there.
yeah, so we don't know if he drove them out or if they just never had any, is
Yeah. And
basically what it's
when they
saying.
yeah, so if there weren't many, hold on, if there weren't many there and they say he drove them out, did he have a car? Did he just like he
True.
put them
Oh
in the
yeah, no,
trunk and drove them
definitely,
out? Is that what they
definitely
meant?
no cars back then.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No,
Yeah,
probably not.
either way, I like his holiday. I think it's a fun time. And then there's also Cinco de Mayo. I just know that on those days, there's a lot of taco deals around town,
Margaritas.
margaritas, and you know, we celebrate that. Nobody knows why. I think people barely know why though also that we celebrate 4th of July. I think it's kind of like a the same type of thing. Like we just know that on 4th of July. I mean, obviously there's some people that, America whatever as a whole was free and like the very small basics, but for the most part, we just know that we're supposed to wear red, white, and blue and
Yeah, yeah,
cook on the grill.
yeah.
And
That's
you know
true.
what? Maybe we should educate ourselves more on these certain holidays. But what's the
Yeah.
fun in
Well,
that? Nobody wants me at the party explaining why how happy I am that I'm
yeah,
sitting here with my margarita and like nobody wants to know the history lesson either.
that's true. Well, although since you mentioned it, do you know that like we make more of a big deal of Cinco de Mayo here than they do in Mexico. It's actually
I
like
believe
just
that.
part of Mexico
I
that
believe
even
that.
celebrates it because it was I think it was celebrating like a kind of a minor win in the Mexican War with France. And yeah,
Oh,
there's just
that's
one part of the
interesting.
country that even celebrates it. But here, I think it became big here
Why do we celebrate it then?
literally because of like a tequila brand or like one of those things like made a big deal about it here.
Um,
Might have been Corona. Like one of those like made an ad campaign with it, and that's how it became big in the U.S. And like like St. Patrick's Day, I guess we Americans like to have our drinking holidays, so
I think we
it
just like a
became the next of those.
celebratory, yes, we like a celebratory drinking holiday.
Yeah.
Or just like a celebratory holiday in general.
Yeah. I mean, like Fourth of July is another one that's funny because Fourth of July, I didn't realize this, but I just found this out recently. Like it's basically been, even though it became an official holiday, what did I say in 1862 or 18, I forget, 18 whatever. Um, it actually has been like celebrated since 1777. So literally the year after we declared our independence, they started celebrating that as Independence Day, which I think it makes it cool actually that it's been that long. That it's not something that somebody in 1930 or whatever said, "Hey, we should start celebrating this." It's been that all along. So
Mm.
I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know that they lit off fireworks and made burgers back then in 1777, but who
Had a
knows? Maybe they
cooler
did.
had a cooler of drinks next to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did
They
they have
had some
ice back then,
mead.
I wonder? Do you think?
You
Do you think
know,
they used
I mean, I don't know how they would have gotten ice, right? They didn't
When
have
did
refrigerators.
ice
They did
Yeah.
no. What they used to do though, back in the day, and back in the day, I mean, I have no idea or date reference for you, but they used to have areas where it was really cold, where like lakes would freeze over. They would like cut out the ice and they would transport it and they would use it for keeping like food cold or like in refrigerators and that. I obviously it couldn't. They called them ice houses. It obviously it wouldn't last very long because once it melts you can't freeze it again because you don't have refrigeration. But yeah, that's it. Like nobody had to think about that. Nobody had cold drinks. Like if it was cold, if your drink was cold, it was either because it was 20 degrees outside or, it just you happened to get some water out of like a cold stream, like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like there was no ice.
which is a shame because I myself love a cold drink. I love I love putting ice in my cup. Even if the drink is already cold, I love ice in my cup just to make it a little bit colder, keep
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
cold. I love ice in my cup. I just
It's
don't
like
know how
it's
I don't
like
know how they did it.
yeah, it's like shameless plug for Twin Peaks. It's like the 28-degree beer at Twin Peaks. It just tastes better that cold. I don't know why.
Love a nice cold drink. Like there's so many drinks when you think about it. This is when we go off topic, but there's so many drinks when you think about it that like if you drink it, even a soda. Think of a soda or like a Gatorade, like a juice or something like that. So much better when it's ice cold from the fridge
Hmm.
than room temperature. I'm not drinking a room temperature soda, but an
Yeah,
ice
no.
cold soda, a sip of that,
Oh yeah, it's a whole
delicious.
experience. Yeah, yeah.
It's
And I'm
so
I'm with you though.
good.
I prefer like soda poured over ice, even if it's coming out of the refrigerator cold. Poured over ice is a different experience than just drinking
It's
it like out of
just,
the can, just cold.
yeah, it's just like that much more crispy.
Yeah, yeah.
Delicious. Delicious.
How
So,
did?
yeah, I don't know how they did it. Oh,
Yeah,
I do know
I know.
that like in ISO, like people who go snowboarding or skiing or whatever, it's a thing that they'll like bring alcohol with them or whatever, or like beer or whatever with them, and they'll like bury it in the snow to keep it
Oh,
cold,
okay.
like use like literally use pockets of the snow to bury it and keep it cold that way.
That completely makes sense. Yeah,
And then they go back to it, crack it open, because even when it's cold outside like that, nothing like sitting in the ice cold.
yeah. Wow. How about this? Before the 1800s, people in colder climates sometimes harvested natural ice from lakes and rivers in winter, storing it in underground pits insulated with straw and sawdust. Uh, it
Yeah.
was it was only practical in cold regions, so ice and drinks was very uncommon outside wealthy households.
Well,
Interesting. Like everything
yeah.
else, the rich people had all the ice.
Yeah, that's a
uh,
shame. I would
yeah.
just stick my stuff outside, I guess. Look for that. Yeah, I would look forward to the winter even more.
Yeah, exactly. Get a
Um,
handful of snow and put it in before I pour my Coke. You didn't have Coke back then, though. So
you didn't have Coca-Cola, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And your milk you were getting fresh from the cow, so you don't have to worry about,
yeah, yeah. But
that
didn't you
keeping
still
that
have to
cold.
keep it cold? Like I guess they probably just kept stuff like that. Like maybe they just had like things in the ground that kept it colder. You know what I
I
mean?
feel like they were just like getting it as they drank it or used it. I don't know.
Maybe like they. I picture people just going out, you know, milking the cow and drinking it right from
With their
there. Yeah,
glass.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
fill in the glass. Hold on, I got to go get some milk.
that's what I imagine. Like they
Take
don't
your
have
sip.
like, a gallon
Uh,
jug that they're trying to fill up to put in the fridge. Yeah.
yeah, maybe a pitcher. They might have like done it into it, or just somebody taking their bowl of Cheerios out under the cow. That doesn't seem sanitary to me. I'm sorry,
Mm. So, yeah.
but
What's another one? Oh, Halloween. Halloween is another one.
Halloween. Yeah,
Always just celebrated it. I don't really know the meaning behind it. I don't know where it came from. I just know when I was little I had to dress up, and for the rest of my life I will dress up on Halloween. That's all I know. And
yeah.
trick
I
or
think
treat. Like I guess, nobody ever told me I had to stop trick or treating.
that's true. And there's no
Except that
laws
one except
about
that
that.
one mean neighbor.
Yeah, yeah. It said I was too old, and I was only 8 at the time. Um,
Uh,
no, no, no. Yeah. I know part of it comes from. Well, it's one of two things because I know there's like a Latin holiday. Uh, I forget what it is, but it's like Day of the Dead, which also
oh yeah,
coincides with
yeah.
All Souls Day, which is like the first day in November, which is the day after Halloween. So I think some of it comes from that too. I think it originated with that, and then it became, just about like ghosts and that kind of thing. And then it became more fun or not, depending on if you want it to be really scary, that kind of thing. But I've also that's another one that I think like St. Patrick's Day should always fall on a Saturday, because people going to drink, and I think so should Halloween, so the kids can
Yeah.
really enjoy it, have their candy, and not have to get up and go to school the next day or
Yeah,
Friday.
because
How about a Friday?
Halloween isn't one of those holidays that I would ever feel like everyone would need to have the day off for, because during the day, I don't
Right.
really need. I wouldn't want off during the day because you get to dress up at school. Sometimes some schools may
Good
not do
point.
it anymore. Even when you work at an office, a lot of times you get to dress up.
Yeah,
But having the day after Halloween off, that would be the best.
yeah. The funniest thing is when you work remote, like we do, it's it's always interesting because some people will dress up even though they're working remote.
In like
So they're
meetings,
just,
yeah.
yeah, so they're just at their house dressed up as, a cowboy. And then they just, when they get on a Zoom call, they
Uh,
have the costume on. But yeah,
yeah.
it's a
I've never done
little
that. I
different.
will say I've never,
No, I
yeah, I've
haven't
never
either.
done that.
I,
I've never dressed up for
yeah,
my
if
for
I,
my virtual meetings.
yeah, that would be fun though. People do it for sometimes for like Christmas things, like ugly sweater, type meeting attire.
Oh, I've done that. Yeah, I've done that because
Yeah,
that's easier. But like, I'm
true.
not, I don't know. I'm not getting in costume and sitting there with like my cat ears on.
Yeah. And then there's another arbitrary, not arbitrary, less thought of holiday that's coming up very soon, and that's called the first day of football season,
Like, right, if they
which
say
is
like Thanksgiving.
Thursday. Yeah, no, thanks. I told you Thanksgiving was one of the original ones. The interesting thing about those original holidays is they were with that original list, those four, they were given off like it was, and I think it said that it was specific to federal employees who worked in DC. They got the day off, but it was unpaid. So
Uh,
that's nice.
well,
That was nice of them
I
to,
hate
and then
when,
it became a paid holiday later, and now they're all
yeah,
paid
I hate when
holidays.
they, I
So
hate when, I hate. Don't give me the day off
yeah,
if you're not gonna pay me. Like,
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
just work. It's not that serious.
yeah. That's where I hated when I worked.
But
When I worked as like a contractor, because depending on the company that you work through, you don't get paid
yeah.
holidays, you don't get paid, paid time off really at all. So like if I wanted to get a full paycheck the weeks that had a holiday in them, I had to work like, four, 10-hour days. So I was still putting in 40 hours that week. It was
Oh, or
just
if it
like,
was a
oh, but you get
something
this day off.
like Thanksgiving, how a lot of places now give Thanksgiving and Black Friday the day after off,
Yeah.
then you got to
Yeah,
make
that
up
would
a
be
lot.
yeah, then I'm
I
then I'm
think
just
as
not
a
even
con
sleeping.
That's true. I promise I'm working 15-hour days.
Right.
Okay, so if you had to name your like, big four, like your big four holidays, what's that mountain with all the presidents on it?
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, what is your Mount Rushmore of
Well, I
holidays?
think the first episode of the podcast we clarified that uh, Christmas Day is the big one for me. Um,
Okay.
if we're talking about like holidays for like the time off and that kind of thing, Thanksgiving would be on there because at least some of the time you get Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving off. I haven't really gotten that a couple of years, but that's because I work for a company that we talked about before. It's an
It's busy.
e-commerce company, so it's busy, and it's a toy company, so really busy Black Friday. Um, but yeah, so Christmas, Thanksgiving, it's tough. Probably, that's tough. Probably, I would say 4th of July because it's right in the middle, and it's like by that point in the summer, you just need a day. And Arbor
You
Day
just
would
need it.
be an unexpected one that I would include. Arbor Day, not no, I'm kidding.
When
You're supposed to laugh when I say things like that because it's so
when is
stupid,
Arbor
Alyssa. Come
Day?
on, it's I don't know.
When
It's a
is
day
Arbor
you
Day?
celebrate trees. We celebrate trees.
I
It's
didn't
not
want
an
to make
official
fun of your
holiday, I don't think.
selection.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that. Maybe Memorial Day. Maybe Memorial Day would be in there too, because that's another one that it just falls at a time where it's like I just need a long
Finally, a
weekend.
day off. Yeah.
Oh no, you know what? The fourth
Hmm.
one would be Alyssa's birthday, which everyone
That was one of
celebrates.
mine. Yes, which
Yeah.
everyone celebrates because it's also Walt Disney's birthday. I think.
Oh,
Pretty
you
sure.
can't say something like that and then say I think.
No, I'm
Like
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
okay,
And then I also have a
like my
birthday
my
very close to
birthday.
Britney Spears.
See, I could have tried to be clever and say and the feast day of Saint Francis because that's my birthday.
That's your
So
birthday. Hmm.
yeah, what would yours be?
Interesting. In no specific order. Um, yeah, Christmas and Thanksgiving. And then I would also have to go with New Year's Eve. New
Hmm,
Year's Day. We'll say New Year's Day, actually. I like having that one off. I would pick Halloween, but I don't get off for that day. That doesn't really,
that's true. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, my
Boxing
birthday.
Day. Oh, okay.
Yeah, my birthday is no, my birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yep, those are my top four. I also like
those are your
Valentine's
top
Day
four.
though. I also like,
Yeah.
I like a
No,
few of
we
the holidays. The little
see the ones for me that are strange are like the ones that I consider like made up holidays, like Mother's Day and Father's Day. Those are. I
oh
always
yeah.
maintain that those are made up by like card companies. Same thing with Valentine's Day. It was like that was made up by some flower company or something, candy company.
I don't like holidays that don't have a specific day to them. I don't like the holidays that are just, you know, this Monday every year, this specific Monday
Yeah,
every year, this Friday every year. To be honest, controversial, even Easter. Easter doesn't have an actual day. It changes every year. And for me, I hate those holidays because they're really hard to keep track of. Okay, is it in
yeah,
April
that's
this
true.
year? Is it in May? Is it in March? I don't know
Yeah.
what day. Like it's like I
Also,
don't I don't like those
I,
holidays.
I went to Catholic school as a kid, and I've been Catholic my whole life, and I still don't know how they decide when Easter is. I
Right.
don't I don't know what the rule is. Like at least like Thanksgiving, okay? Well, it's the last Thursday. I think even that rule is weird because it's like it's the
Yeah, even
last
Thanksgiving.
Thursday before the last Friday in November or something like that. Because like I don't think, and I could be wrong, I don't think you can have a Thanksgiving fall on the last day of November. I don't,
Yeah.
I could be wrong, and someone please correct me if I am, but I don't think it can fall on like the last day of the month. Um,
Right.
but then there's like Mother's Day is one that falls on the second Sunday of May, and Father's Day is the third Sunday in June, so that's another weird one. Um, third Sunday in June. Here's the other interesting thing about those two though. Mother's Day was created in 1908, became an official holiday in 1914. So 6 years it took for it to become an official holiday. Father's Day became a holiday in 1910. So 2 years after Mother's Day was first invented, became an official holiday
They were
in
like, fine, we'll
1972.
celebrate the fathers. We'll celebrate them too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but but why did it take 62 years for them to make it official when Mother's Day it only took them 6? Dads are getting the dirty end of the stick every time.
Not
Every time.
necessarily because, women and
Uh,
mothers couldn't get their own credit card until, the 60s or
no,
70s,
that's true.
something like
That's
that.
true. Okay, yeah,
So, you know
they did.
what?
That's
Like,
true. They had a day, but
when.
they couldn't vote. They had a day, but
Yeah,
back then they weren't allowed to vote.
exactly.
So
So, you know what? No complaining.
yeah, all right. You're right. You're right. I'll stop. I'll shut up now.
Okay, y'all didn't have a official holiday.
Yeah, yeah, but
Uh,
they got their own holiday, and I didn't have one.
yeah. Yeah, I don't like those kind of holidays. I don't like figuring all that out. Thankfully, my iPhone tells me when every holiday is, but
That's true.
I just
No,
want to know, especially because considering, okay, the reasoning behind these holidays, like Thanksgiving, it's you know what Thanksgiving is. You guys
I,
know.
I,
I'm
I.
not gonna butcher the meaning, but we all know.
Wait, do you know? Because the way you're saying that, I'm questioning it. I'm questioning whether you know.
Yeah, it's when, we ate with the pilgrims and like everyone joined
Well, wait,
forces and
we didn't eat with any pilgrims.
or we were the pilgrims.
Yes, you mean the pilgrims ate with and it was a specific like it actually came up on my notes on my show notes, um, as what it celebrated, and I'm going to find it here, and I'm going to tell you the actual story of it. Traced back to
Thank you.
1621. Oh, it's the fourth Thursday in November is the official calculation. So you got to do math. Traced back to
What?
1621 when the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Native Americans shared a harvest feast in Plymouth. Became an official holiday
So,
in 1863, and it was Abraham Lincoln that made it a holiday.
so exactly. So we obviously there was a date that happened at that those forces joined.
True.
Can't we just celebrate that date? Why do
Yeah,
we have
that's true.
to? What's so special about? They were like, we know it was on a Thursday.
Yeah,
Let's
we're
just.
not clear on what
Let's
Thursday it was. We know it was somewhere
So
around the end of November, but we're just not
we
sure.
don't know the date. We just know it was the end of November, right before the weekend. Let's
Yeah,
just make that Thanksgiving. I don't remember
let's
what date
call
it
that it.
was.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's
It
a
was
weird
either
one
the
too, because it's
4th or
like,
3rd.
yeah, Thanksgiving's a weird one too, though, because it's like Thursday. It's like, why always a Thursday? Because Thursday and
Yeah.
Thanksgiving have the same first two letters. That's I as a child did think that was why.
Yeah, that's funny. Anyways,
Um, yeah, that's all the stuff I can find on it though. It's it actually it well we talked about, oh gosh, I don't know what this cough is. I should be concerned. Um, it
that's why I'm doing a
became an
podcast
official
over here
holiday and
today.
yeah, became an official holiday in 1863. I already said that by Abraham Lincoln. A couple of other interesting notes. Martin Luther King Day became a holiday in the 80s. Um,
Oh,
so that wasn't a holiday before the 1980s. And Juneteenth became a holiday. Guess when?
I do know
20,
when. It was, yeah, yep,
2021.
yes. Right after COVID.
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah, right. Yeah, because we needed an extra holiday after COVID. That was not to get off topic, but why not? We were talking earlier about the COVID year and how that started people decorating for Christmas extremely early because people needed a break from all that madness.
We just
And now we
needed
still
some
do.
some Christmas lights. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
I think all the holidays kind of got pushed back a little bit because people weren't really like putting up fall decorations September 1st like they are now. Now everyone's
yeah,
out
that's
shopping
true.
for fall.
That's
But
true.
I like it, so
Yeah. I'll take it. I'll take it. Anything.
I'll
Anything to
take.
make people cheerful. That's what we need.
That's what we do need. Anyways, y'all, tune in Thursday because we have our show and tell, our monthly
Oh,
show and
yes.
tell on Thursday.
Yeah. I
So
have a
get ready
really
for
good
that
one
as
too.
well.
I have a really good one
Okay.
for show and tell. I'm not going to tell you
Yeah.
until Thursday. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Is it
Bye,
tuning in when you're
everybody. What?
watching a video on YouTube? Is it tuning? Are you like on the old TV? I know I'm dragging this on, but on the old TVs, you had to actually tune to it. You know, there needs to be a different
Well, I
word.
mean, I tune in. Yeah, I tune in.
Okay. Okay. That's
I
good.
tune into the TikToks I watch at night. What
That's
that's
true.
tuning
That's
in to
true.
me.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. All right. Well, then, thanks for tuning in, and make sure you check out Thursday.
Bye, everybody. See you soon.